In the cold heart of Quebec, where the pines meet the shadow, a darkness began to stir. This is the story of a nation's lost innocence. A story of the moment justice itself was put on trial. Quebec, 1953. The first wrongful conviction that shook a nation. The blood of the innocent would stain the very foundation of the state. And the storm was only just beginning. The Gaspé Peninsula, a place of raw, untamed beauty. But in the summer of '53, it became a hunting ground. 3 American tourists, hunters themselves, vanished without a trace. The silence of the forest was deafening. The pressure on the authorities was immense, a national obsession. The reputation of an entire province hung in the balance. They needed a suspect, they needed a scapegoat, and they found him in the shadows. His name was Wilbert Coffin, prospector, a man down on his luck, a man who knew the woods too well. The evidence was thin, a mismatched bullet, a disputed boot print, whispers and conjecture. But in the fever pitch of public demand, thin evidence was enough. The trial was a spectacle, a rush to judgment. The narrative was written before the first witness was called. The verdict was a foregone conclusion. Guilty. The state had its man. The nation could breathe again. But for some, the air was thick with doubt. The appeals were exhausted. The pleas for clemency, ignored. On February 10, 1956, the state carried out its sentence. Wilbert Coffin was executed. His last words, a chilling echo in the cold prison air, "I am innocent." But the execution did not bring peace. It brought a permanent stain, a wound on the conscience of the province. Could the state, in its pursuit of order, have killed an innocent man? The question festered. It grew. It became a symbol of a deeper corruption. The official record was closed. But the case of Wilbert Coffin became the blueprint for distrust. The moment the people began to question the very system designed to protect them. And as the shadow of the gallows faded, a new, more tangible darkness was rising. The forces of law and order were distracted by the ghosts of the past. They failed to see the future being built in the bustling, neon-lit streets of Montreal. The port of Montreal, the gateway to a continent, and the entry point for the deadliest drug trade in North America. This was the French Connection. Heroin, pure and lethal, flowing from the poppy fields of Turkey, refined in the labs of Marseille, and shipped directly to the docks of Quebec. The operation was controlled by a ruthless, calculating syndicate, the Du Bois Gang. Not just street thugs, these were entrepreneurs of violence. Their leader, Frank Le Gros Dubé, a man whose cold, focused eyes saw crime not as a rebellion, but as an empire. The Du Bois Gang perfected the art of calculated terror. Their violence was precise, their profits astronomical. They corrupted police, politicians, and dock workers with equal efficiency. They showed the world that crime could be an organized, legitimate business. They were the true power in the city's underbelly. They used bombs not for politics, but for profit, to send a message, to secure a territory. They were building a kingdom of fear, brick by bloody brick. But every empire casts a shadow, and the methods they perfected were about to be adopted by a force far more dangerous than any gangster. The gang war for the streets was a distraction, a smokescreen, because in the shadows of the Du Bois Gang's success, a monster was being born, a monster they never intended to create. The political radicals of the Front de Libération du Québec, the FLQ, they watched the gangsters, they learned their tactics, the use of bombs, the calculated terror. They saw that violence could be a tool to challenge the state itself. The Du Bois Gang had opened Pandora's box. And now, the political terrorists were ready to unleash a new kind of chaos. The final act of Part 1 closes on the sound of a typewriter. A single key striking the paper. FLQ. The innocence was gone. The storm was here. Next time, Part 2. The terrorist cocktail. When the streets of Montreal ran red with blood and ideology. We must remember that the events of the past are never truly gone. They linger in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to resurface. The story of Wilbert Coffin is a reminder of the fragility of justice. The story of the Du Bois Gang is a reminder of the power of greed. And the story of the FLQ is a reminder of the danger of ideology. Together, they form the foundation of a darkness that still haunts us today. The kingdoms of the shadow are always growing, and the only way to stop them is to bring them into the light. But the light is fading, and the storm is only getting stronger. Prepare yourself for the next chapter. The descent into the darkness continues. Part 1. The Innocent and the Storm. The beginning of the end. The first step into the abyss. Just watch me. The words of a leader or the warning of a tyrant. The answer lies in the shadows, and the shadows are speaking. Are you listening? The kingdom of fear is waiting, and it's closer than you think. The end of Part 1. The beginning of the nightmare.